Arroyo Seco Saints baseball here on the Saints Radio Network as your Saints back on the road, finishing up the last 3 games of the season, and will play against the Orange County Riptide. Good evening, everybody. This is Alex Novak. Alongside of me is Tommy Warts as the Saints, after some late inning heroics last night against the Academy Barons, looking to finish up as strong as possible on the season. As we bring you the starting lineups first for your Arroyo Seco Saints. Tommy Castillo at the top of the lineup. Connor Bradshaw hitting second. Drew Cowley hitting third. Jake McMurray in the cleanup spot. Jake Cruz hitting fifth. Jag Burton will be hitting sixth. Tanner Linsley hitting seventh. Brandon Boning in the 8th slot. And batting ninth is Jackson Cobb. As we bring you the starting defense for the Riptide, Dwight Allen playing over in the left, Taryn Simmons in dead center field, Colton Freeman over in right, Gavin Heimovic will be playing over at third, Efrain Cervantes playing at short, Davis Diaz playing at second, Reed Spanrath over at first. Behind the plate is Blake Penso, and on the mound is Jake McBride, coming in with a 6'5" frame, weighing in at 240 pounds. Currently undecided right about now from Goleta, California. Tommy, what can we expect from Jake McBride this evening as far as the Riptide trying to even up the score right now against the Saints?
Well, last time we faced off against the Riptide here at Great Park, remember we had a massive shootout between the Riptide and the Saints, 13-12 game that went into 12 innings. And it was an absolute bloodbath from the 7th to the 9th. Remember, 18 runs coming across the score for these two teams. It's going to be McBride's job to try to limit the damage early, but Tommy Castillo, the new leadoff man from Long Beach State, has been very productive and almost wishing he was here the whole season right now for the Saints. And he'll get things started off for us here against the Riptide at Great Park.
And Tommy Castillo really has been excellent for the Saints, averaging a base hit in every ball game that he has participated in. So far, hitting .380 on the year. As the first pitch goes after it, Sky's one in foul territory. Penso trying to look for it in the night. Sky having to reach over it to make the grab.
And a quick pitch from McBride to Castillo. And a quick one pitch, one out for the Riptide. That's exactly how you want to start it off in their last home game of the season.
As we give you the stat line across the line for McBride, has 9 games, only 1 start on the year, 16 2/3 of innings of work, 19 hits on 15 runs scored, 13 of them earned, 8 base on balls, also with 16 Ks, and a losing record of 0-2 with the ERA of 7.02. So it's Connor Bradshaw trailing the count, 2 balls and no strikes. For those of you just joining us, Tommy Castillo put away on 1 pitch, got under one in foul territory. And now Connor Bradshaw way ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes here at Great Park.
I'm sorry, Alex. I think this is kind of where you can see the strength in the Saints lineup here now. Connor Bradshaw, formerly the leadoff man, now with Tommy Castillo coming along. I think this is when their lineup's at their best with Bradshaw in this 2 spot. We saw it work yesterday against the Barons, and to have that pop and that speed at the 2 spot now, it really eliminates a hole that they were trying to find a true 2-hitter for the Saints.
That's just another tool that you can add on if you're Connor Bradshaw, being that leadoff man for a majority of the year, then now having to be the 2-hitter as there's a ground ball up the middle for a 1-out single for Connor Bradshaw.
Very good piece of hitting there for Bradshaw. Has been so great with his spray charts going all over the place, up the middle to the other side right there. Times up McBride perfectly, follows through with the hands, and it sneaks between Diaz and Cervantes.
And with that base hit, that will give Connor Bradshaw bragging rights and the lead as far as the leader is concerned. But Drew Cowley right on his tail, tied up with the third baseman. Both of them coming into this ball game at 44 base hits. 0-1 the count to Drew Cowley. who really has been representing the nickname Mr. Saint. Really has been with the Saints for quite some time, the last 3 seasons, and recently accepted a scholarship to go to University of Oregon.
Yeah, and that was only a matter of time. We've seen from Mr. Cowley. He's been quite the talent and one of the best lefty bats you'll see in college baseball right now. He makes baseball look so easy, such fast hands, and a great swing that gets everyone excited and makes it must-watch baseball.
He definitely has been an amazing product to keep your eye out on, and is definitely one of the leading hitters in the CCL. Definitely a lot of competition when you have a lot of competition up north with the Prune Packers. A lot of Packers leading stats, but you do see some Saints sneaking through some of those numbers as Cowley swings and misses through that one, evening up the count 2-2.
Big cut there from Cowley, trying to get Bradshaw all the way across on something in the gap with a lot of speed at first base, and he's taken off.
And there goes Bradshaw, gets a great jump, no doubt about it. The rabbit is loose, and he stole second. Count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Connor Bradshaw now in a scoring position here in the top of the first here in Gray Park in the beautiful city of Irvine. Bride comes set. Here comes the 3-2. Cowley gets under one. Looks like it could be trouble in foul territory. Called off by Dwight Allen to make the grab.
Yeah, just a defensive swing there from Cowley. Chases a fastball a little bit up in the zone away from him. Gets underneath it, and it's an easy fly ball over to Dwight Allen in left field. And now just 2 down already for McMurray with a runner in scoring position.
Now batting number 2, Jake McMurray.
So McBride going against McMurray. But McBride trying to get himself out of a jam, and to be quite frank, these top hitters for the Saints in the lineup definitely are not an easy task when you have Tommy Castillo, now the new leadoff guy. And there is a ground ball, finds its way past the second baseman, Davis Diaz. Rounding third, coming in to score is Connor Bradshaw. Throw is cut off. Just like that, your Saints with a 1-0 lead.
And it's something we've seen all season long from McMurray. Just an absolute contact machine. Very reliable on getting a hit somewhere through the gap in the infield. He does it again there, this time with a runner in scoring position. He gets his first RBI of the day, and he starts the Saints off with some scoring, 1-0 in the first.
And with that RBI, that would be RBI number 15. And most importantly, getting it done with 2 outs, just as the Saints usually do. And with 2 gone, it's the designated hitter, Jake Cruz. The San Diego Aztec ahead of the count, 1-0. Already a 1-0 lead to start up the ball game. Not exactly what McBride had in mind here in this one. As Cruz trying to go after one low and inside, 1-1.
And Cruz at the plate hasn't had the best success so far for the Saints this summer, but he came on as of late, and he's just always trying to rip the cover off the ball every time he takes a hack. So you always got to watch, pay attention to it. And the swings are coming. He can catch up to it for sure. Just got to get a little bit of a start going for the Saints. Like you said, first time here this summer.
Came in the same time as Tommy Castillo. That was at least a week ago at the Academy, playing against the Barons. Saw some new faces, both Castillo and Cruz. Off speed, count 2-1. Haven't seen Cruz get any innings of work on the mound, as in his days with San Diego State can show a little versatility. Some Shohei Ohtani, as we all like to reference it nowadays, showing the two-way player form. So far, really just has been a hitter, just trying to find his rhythm. And cuts out and misses at the 2-1.
And right there, example of it. Huge hack from Cruz. Trying to do a lot with the baseball when it comes at him. If he sees a fastball, you best believe he's getting his hands around on it.
Now with 2 strikes, have to shorten up the swing. That was always something that he struggled with, shortening up the swing and not trying to do too much with the baseball. Has come in with 4 strikeouts. Has batting average of 117. They're trying to get that number to go up and at least try to get hot at the right moment. There's only 3 games left, and try to just heat up before going to the postseason. 2-2. Fouled back at the screen. We'll do it again.
Good AB so far from Cruz right now. Showing that he's on McBride, paying attention, not chasing too many pitches too far out of the zone, being defensive up there, really working it right now.
2-2, gets under one. This one goes a long way. And Allen, oh my goodness. Dwight Allen being able to hold on to it with a lunging grab. Not something you see every day. Lost his footing right before getting to the warning track there at left field. But none other, the damage is done. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base as you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Saints able to jump with a 1-0 lead to start up the ball game as we bring you the starting lineups for the Riptide. Davis Diaz will lead things off. Colton Freeman batting second. Taryn Simmons hitting third. Clayton Owen hitting cleanup. Gavin Heimovitz, will be hitting fifth. Reed Spenrath will be hitting sixth. Then Blake Panso hitting seventh. Efrain Cervantes hitting eighth. And batting ninth is Dwight Allen. As we set up the Saints defensively, Jack Burton playing over in left. Connor Bradshaw in dead center. Tommy Castillo playing at right. Drew Cowley playing at third. Brandon Boning at short. Jackson Cobb at second. Jake McMurray playing at first. Tanner Linsley behind the dish. And on the mound is John Chomko, who is coming in with a 6'2" frame. The sophomore weighing in at 190 pounds from Tomball, Texas. From University of Texas, San Antonio. What can we expect from Chomko today, Tommy? So far, he has accepted his new role as a starter with the Saints very well.
Yeah, his last start out against the Santa Barbara Foresters, 4 innings pitched, ready for this, Alex, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs across for him. Expect him to go on a little bit deeper if he's not having any trouble today, just giving him a little bit of a practice start here in the CCL, and he's starting him off with a first pitch strike, something he did a lot of against Santa Barbara. Riptide got their work cut out for him today. It could be a nice, easy pitcher's duel if both these guys are on their best A game.
And John Chomko really has been keeping up with his colleague, with Kyle Sondag. Both have been just magnificent on the mound. And to finish up that statement that Tommy was mentioning as far as that start against Santa Barbara, 4 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 9 Ks. That's the most that Chomko would strike out in one outing.
Yeah, I think Aaron Milam needs to send a thank you card to UTSA for the pitchers they sent them over this summer. Sonduck and Chomko have pretty much had to be the 2 best arms we've seen all summer for the Saints so far.
Very filthy. They both lead the team in strikeouts. As the 1-2 to Diaz. Bounce in the dirt, 2-2. As we give you the official stat line for John Chomko. Has 1 victory, has not lost a game, 22 2/3 innings of work, 14 hits on 2 earned runs, 41 Ks, 7 walks, and .81 ERA. Very greedy for Chomko as he gets Davis Diaz to chase one upstairs.
And that's what he likes to do. He likes to mix things up. We saw the breaking ball mix in with the fastball there, and either one of them can be his finishing pitch. Right there, he went up in the zone and chased fastball was Diaz. And if we see that breaking ball, he'll like to keep it low, and he likes to get the guys fishing, chasing on it. And as you see there, just continuing to add to his crazy, ridiculous strikeout numbers.
And on the year, that is 42 Ks after getting Davis Diaz to go after some high cheddar. Starting Colton Freeman with a called strike. To finish up the statement from Tommy's statement earlier, Kyle Sonduck, 43 Ks, but with the stellar start for Steyer last night, striking out 12 Barons last night. He is now all knotted up with Steyer, both with 43. What a start from Tommy Steyer tonight, or last night.
Well, and the difference between Chomko and Steyer is this is only Chomko's 2nd start. All of those have been out of relief. Steyer's been able to catch up at least 3-4 innings at a time, and he picked up 7 yesterday. It was an amazing start for Steyer out there.
And a high chopper to short gets the candy hob. Boning gets rid of it quickly to get out number 2.
And something we've seen all season long, Brandon Boning, hard ground balls over to short. They always look easy over there. Easy chopper over there from Colton Freeman, and he thinks he can maybe leg it out. Boning, he makes throws on the run in his sleep. So strong throw over to first base, easy second out of the 1st inning.
And it's really about how Boning, the transfer from glove to throwing arm, it's just how quick he just gets rid of it. And of course, going with that sidearm delivery. When you go with that sidearm delivery, it's a little easier to get rid of it when you're at the shortstop position, just getting that nice sidearm delivery. And just like that first pitch to Taryn Simmons, and it hits him in the hand, he's going to take his time to get to first.
Yeah, that never feels good. Taking one off the hand there. And Chomko doesn't throw light stuff. It's approaching 90. Hopefully it was a breaking ball that didn't really do much damage. And Simmons kind of terrorized us last time. Went 4 for 5 in their victory over the Saints, 10-2 last time they were out here, including a home run. So a hit by pitch doesn't look good on the stat line for Chomko, but maybe halting some damage from Simmons.
It was definitely a very tough loss for the Saints the last time that they met up on a Sunday. Just one of those days that the Riptide, they had it. Unfortunately for the Saints, they did not have it. Very offensive day for the Riptide. 10 runs in total that day. But the Riptide looking at evening up the score. The Saints are currently 4-3 against Orange County. The Saints would very much like to finish 5-3 against the Riptide. And as for the Riptide, just try to evening up the score. The 1-1 gets him to wave at and miss at the 1-1.
Yeah, nice change up there from Chomko to really change up speeds on Clayton Owen. Way out in front of that one, and now just one pitch away from a hitless inning for Chomko.
Chomko tried to keep this as quiet as possible. trying to just keep it as a hit-by pitch here in this inning. And for those of you just joining us, the Saints were able to drive in a run on the RBI single by Jake McMurray. It was on a one-out single by Connor Bradshaw. Was able to steal second, got a great jump from it. Then with the ground ball to right by McMurray, was able to cash in Connor Bradshaw.
And a good at-bat right now for Clayton Owen as well, fouling off the last two. Really adding it up for John Chomko, who's had to go out of the stretch since the hit by pitch, and really frustrating him, making him take his time now to try to finish off Owen.
The 1-2 pitch, and that's a drive, and it's going to split the gap. Good two-out single there by Orange County Riptide, trying to keep this inning going and try to answer back with a run of their own.
Yeah, and it just turned out that Clayton Owen was all over Chomko that at-bat. After falling down 1-2, then fouling off a couple pitches, he was in the head of John Chomko there. A fastball left pretty much over the heart of the plate. He's lucky that Owen has only got a single, and a run's just staying at second base.
Definitely would not want to test out the arm of Jag Burton. I like to say the outfielders for the Saints definitely have some great arms. We saw Tommy Castillo showing off his arm yesterday. It was Ronnie Belton for the Barons that was trying to stretch a single into a double. Castillo was able to get a great toss into second and was able to tag him out.
And that was in center field yesterday. Castillo out in right field today. Very fast outfield out there today. Cover a lot of ground on this park. Burton in left, Bradshaw in center, and Castillo in right.
Definitely going to be something very tough to be able to get something by the outfielders today. Possess a lot of speed. The 2-0. It's a slow roller going to short. They go the easy way, the flip to Cobb. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 1-0 in favor of the Saints. As you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Go to the top of the second inning here in Orange County Great Park. We'll have Jag Burton, Tanner Linsley, and Brandon Boning, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up here for the Saints. Alex Naveja alongside of me is Tommy Wartz. As Jake McBride goes back onto the mound and delivers a first pitch called a strike. Jag Burton, a .256 hitter. 440 on base percentage. This is a guy that manages to find his way on, whether sometimes gets on with an error or beats out some throws on fielder's choice, but always hustling his way through. And there's a close pitch there. Very close in the inside corner, but it's a 1-2 strike count.
Yeah, Jake Burton, if you remember, was the consistent 3-hitter for the Saints most of the season in the beginning of the summer, and now finding his way working down in the 6th spot. Still a very productive bat to have that low in the order, and a huge part of the Saints' success, and always finds his way in the lineup near the top in games played for the Saints this summer. Jake Burton's a big culture guy.
And the 2-2 count, tries to pull it, but comes up empty.
And unfortunately, near the top of the team in that, too, for strikeouts. Burton does that quite a bit, but it's a part of his approach, and with that new outlook on baseball that a strikeout's just as good as any other out, Burton takes full advantage of it and swings big, and when he makes contact, it's usually pretty successful, but sometimes it causes him to swing and miss.
And here's the big fella, Tanner Linsley, stepping into the plate, and we are seeing a much different Jake McBride here. Definitely pounding the strike zone more. And definitely working at his own pace. And here's a shot right over the leaping Cervantes. Able to pull that one or poke it over to left for a 1-out single.
And really, that's the best Tanner Linsley we've seen so far this summer. Is in the beginning of the summer, struggled a little bit to get his swing and rhythm. It seemed like he was out ahead of a lot of pitches. Most of his balls either resulting in strikeouts or ground balls near the right side of the infield. And some switch must have flipped in the mid part of the summer right now, really poking the ball the other way, and that's when we've seen him at his best, collecting the most hits for the Saints team.
Tanner Linsley, part of that catching rotation, and a rotation that has been Peyton Lewis, Bo Willis, and a Tanner Linsley. We haven't seen a whole lot of production behind the plate as far as the catchers are concerned. Haven't found that consistent hitter that's going to, you can turn on them, rely on them for big base hits. But Brandon Boning at the plate, ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. And here's a hitter that really has been figuring it out lately. And there's a drive over to left for a base hit as we talk about him figuring it out.
And a big rip there from Boning. Really keeps the shoulders square there, fires it through short and third. And rather than that one being a pop fly to left field, because of how flat and straight that swing turns out, it's a line drive ripper that grounds over to Dwight Allen in left. And now we're at the best 9-hitter in the CCL right here, Jackson Cobb, with the top of the order looming, 2 guys on and only 1 out here in the top of the second.
Not a lot of teams can say that they have a hitter like Jackson Cobb. Last night had an act of the heroics yesterday. Came in the bottom of the 9th inning. That 9th was one of the most interesting innings in the game where the Barons were able to get the lead. They were trailing by 1. They left it up to Corey Shepard to shut the door. Unable to get the job done. But then it was Jackson Cobb who would come in, get a lead-off double, an absolute missile to left center field, and would be the game-tying run to come in to score. And just as you called it yesterday, Tommy, that error that Drew Cowley, he hit a shot to second. That ball was mishandled by the second baseman by the Barons yesterday.
Yeah, and Jackson Cobb, like you said, coming up very big with a huge leadoff double, and pretty much you knew when that happened that the Saints really figured it out and fired up the dugout. They weren't letting themselves lose that game yesterday. They had earned the victory. Shepard, yeah, he may have blew the game. He was down to 1 strike left before the game would have been over. Just a great hit by Jordan Williams yesterday that extended the game. And the Saints came back in the 9th there and really showed why they earned that victory yesterday.
And it's all about working every at-bat. Every pitch is precious, and the Saints definitely used every pitch in that bottom of the 9th inning. And as well did the Barons. The Barons, they battled it out to the final strike, and look at the results of that one. It was one game, a very memorable final home game for the Saints. And I'll tell you one thing, I don't think any of the guys are going to forget that game yesterday, to have it start with Cobb, and then you have some dynamic hitters, Castillo, Bradshaw, and Cowley. Really, the most dominant part of the lineup for the Saints. You have to deal with those guys in the bottom of the ninth inning. Not an easy chore. The 2-2 goes behind Jackson Cobb. McBride mishandles the breaking ball there.
And Cobb never even flinched, and I think he knew nothing was intentional there. McBride seemingly upset with himself right after that throw instantly, making some sort of noise of unpleasantry. And Jackson Cobb, no harm, no foul, watches that one go right behind him.
Full count, 3-2, and it's a bouncer that finds its way over to left. They're going to put the stop sign to Tanner Linsley. Going to play it safe and hand the bat over to Tommy Castillo.
That's 3 hits in a row now for the Saints, all singles, all to left field now. One the other way from Linsley, then a pulled ball from Boning from the right side, and then back the other way from the lefty Cobb. And maybe a little bit of hitting is contagious going around here. Now back to the top of the order, only one down, and the bases loaded in the top of the second.
You can only hope that it continues to be contagious here as you go through the lineup a second time with Tommy Castillo. Every base occupied by Saints, and he is determined to get some ribbies after fouling off that first offering 0-1.
And still pretty new to this Saints team too, Castillo. Been here a couple weeks now, but maybe could really set himself up for some success here right before the playoffs next week and get his teammates behind him.
And slaps down the other way. This could be trouble, and that drops in there fairly. Right there over and right. Linsley comes in to score, Boning comes in to score, and a pair of runs, and it's a 3-0 lead for the Saints.
And that'll get your guys fired up in the dugout right there. A double from Castillo with the bases loaded. Just bloops it into right field, right in front of Colton Freeman. Wisely chooses not to throw the ball home, as his only play really was at second, but never had a chance trying to get the speedy Castillo, who was thinking double right out the gate. And now really opening this game up with 2 runs here, and now 4 straight hits for the Saints in the top of the second.
So now 2 Ducks in scoring position, 3-0 for the Saints. Infield playing in. And once again, we go back to just how amazing the top part of the lineup for the Saints have been. And lately it's been a combination of the 8-9, then the top part of the lineup, how great it's been and how consistently aggressive they have been.
It's been real great to watch, and a really good 1-2 punch coming up here now with Bradshaw and Cowley, who we've seen at the 1 and the 3 spot respectively. And getting Tommy Castillo in there now really helps add power to this punch.
And he lifts one over to left field. Tagging over at third is Cobb. He's going with the Jets. The throw gets cut off, and it's 4-0 Saints.
And obviously Bradshaw wishing he could do a little bit more in that AB, but still a great shot, deep enough from Dwight Allen. Not going to be able to make the throw to get Jackson Cobb at the plate, and it acts like he never came up to bat with the sacrifice fly, and you get an RBI and a 3 spot here in the second, going a long way. Saints bats are definitely hot today, riding yesterday's game.
And 4 runs in these first 2 innings, 1 in the first and 1 here in the second, as they start Cowley off with a pitch upstairs, 1-0. Still trying to pitch him with caution. Outside 2-0. Drew Cowley against the Orange County Riptide. He is batting .347. Definitely has been hitting very well against the Riptide. There aren't very many teams that Cowley is not hitting very well. Really hard to find the Achilles heel of Drew Cowley.
Yeah, and coming into today, still looking for his first hit off McBride. Has 2 at-bats against them, and if you remember last game, intentionally walked in that last one. And one came from McBride when he was at the plate. Never had the chance to face Cowley more than that.
3-1. Another pitch that he lifts one right over at third, and having some troubles is Gavin Ahimovich, who ends up coming in with the grab. As it's 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base, 4-0 in favor of the Saints. As you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Already a big inning for the Saints, 3 spots to start the top half of the inning. As we go to the bottom of the second, we'll have Reed Spenrath, Blake Panzo, and Efrain Cervantes. John Chomko will definitely have plenty of runs to work with, but you and I, Tommy, have some experience that no lead is safe, especially here in Great Park.
Yeah, definite shootout last time. Like you said, later innings. From 7th to 9th inning, there was 18 runs scored between the two teams here last time we played at Great Park. And the Saints had a 7-run lead in those later innings as well, too. This Riptide team definitely ones that can get the bats firing whenever they need to, and the Saints got to keep the gas on while they can in the beginning of this game.
I think just in general, as far as with baseball is concerned, always have your foot on the gas pedal. Anything is possible in the game of baseball. Anybody could come in and bring the game back at any given time. And here's a bouncer going back to the mound. Chomko fires a strike over to McMurray.
And not an easy play there from Chomko. Realizing it a little bit late maybe as well. Not sure if it hit the plate at first. And a chopper right to him, able to get off the bump, fire it over to first to McMurray, and Spenrath is the first victim of the second inning for the Riptide.
And now here's a new face for the Riptide, Blake Penso. The recent graduate from Huntington Beach High School will be taking his education to another D1 program at UC Irvine. Just trying to get accustomed here in Great Park. After this season, we'll be reporting to UC Irvine. And definitely had a great run this year with the Oilers this year as far as reaching the CIF, making history in the Sunset League. going undefeated 9-0 in league action. Defeating Edison High School, defeating Los Alamitos, and Fountain Valley. Especially with the game that went to extra innings against Fountain Valley. Just one of those very close games that went down to the wire, went down to an outfield assist by the left fielder. Do an absolute gem. 4-0. The Saints lead 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and no runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the Riptide. Riptide so far have had 2 runners left on base as the 2-2, and there's a drive over to deep right center field, and that's going to split the gap. Castillo gets to the baseball, tries to get in as quick as possible. They're waving in Penso. He's rounding the bag, and the throw's not going to be in time. 4-1.
And a big hit there from Cervantes. Penso really showing off the wheels. Castillo, a lot of speed out in right field. I thought he was going to be able to get that back in before Penso was able to come around to score, but deep enough shot from Cervantes, and not going to be enough for the Saints to get it in. They're going to get their first run of the ball game and start chipping away, and now only down 3.
And this is exactly why we were saying always keep your foot on the gas pedal. Always want to be in control of the game. And here's the 9-hitter, Dwight Allen. Fastball misses upstairs, 1-0. This is game 1 of a 3-game road trip to seal the deal for the season. Tomorrow, they'll be at Santa Barbara to play against the Foresters one last time, and they'll finish their season off with a matinee game against the Conejo Oaks on a Sunday. And how quickly the season has gone by.
Been a fun one, too, Alex. A lot of great memories and cool stories that these guys will have to go back with their college teammates to their true seasons now. And done with staying warm, they have to be warmed up by the time they come back in September.
And very safe to say that each and every one of these guys on the team, they will be ready after the season is done. After that first week of the first week of August is in the books. You know that these guys are going to report back to their respective programs, and they have to get back into conditioning work for the guys that unfortunately weren't able to get any work done. Conditioning work, very brutal for these guys. It's interesting to hear about how every team gets their guys in shape. One that I found very interesting, Long Beach State's head coach Eric Valenzuela, a very big boxer, taught the whole entire team how to box, how to work the bags, and got some input from some of the players there. And a lot of the players said, hey, it beat me up to work the backs.
And you know what? That's why I liked playing baseball back in the day. Put me at first base, didn't have to do a whole lot of running out there. Other sports are pretty brutal sometimes with it, but once you get up to that collegiate level, they want everyone in their tip-top shape and the utmost conditioning that is required of them, and I'm sure they'll have their work come out for them in September.
And there's a ground ball going over to third. Cowley checks on the runner at second, and he only has a play at first.
And a big out number 2 there to get Dwight Allen out. Allen, not a guy who terrorizes the baseball when he's up, but when he gets on the bases, that's when he can cause the most problems for you. Carries a lot of speed. Able to get him off with a smart throw, firing it in from Drew Cowley. And they're back at the top of the order with 1 run in scoring position still, and the Saints could get out of this inning virtually with very minimal damage done.
And first one is a sharply hit ground ball over to short. Boning able to come up with it and make a strong throw to first. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base for the Riptide, cutting it to just a 3-run game, 4-1, as you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Go to the top of the third here in Orange County, Great Park. I'm Alex Naveja, and I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Tommy Wartz with the play-by-play. Tommy?
Yeah, Alex, that's top of the third here in Great Park in Irvine, California right now. And it is 4-1 in favor of your Arroyo Seco Saints right now. Jake McMurray, Jake Cruz, and Jag Burton to lead things off here in the third inning. And first pitch from the Arkansas Razorback, Matthew Mangry in relief now for Jake McBride. Will miss for ball one. McBride's day is done, and now they turn to the southpaw, Mangry, to McMurray, and he's quickly behind on him, 2-0.
Not a very short day there for Jake McBride. Didn't last a whole lot, just those 2 innings of work and giving up 6 hits and 4 runs very quickly. Had to ice down the red-hot offense against the Saints.
Southpaw for the Riptide for the lefty dominant lineup for the Saints, as McMurray's going to get a nice piece off of Mangry, but it will.
Two and two the count. We do apologize. Tommy is experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment. But as soon as he's back, we'll go ahead and bring him back on as a 2-2 way inside by Mangry. Full count now for Jake McMurray. Give you the complete stat line for McBride. 2 innings, 1 K, no walks, and 6 hits with 4 earned runs. As McMurray hits a routine ground ball over to short. So 1 away, here is Jake Cruz with the middle part of the lineup for the Saints, McMurray, Cruz, and Burton.
Now batting number 24, Jake Cruz.
Cruz was put away on fly out in a foul territory. Dwight Allen had to go a long way to make that grab. As that one is ripped, going foul. Let's see, do we have Tommy back? Let's see. Tommy, are you with us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear Tommy loud and clear. Let's go ahead and hand it back over to Tommy Wartz with the play-by-play.
Well, after I was rudely interrupted there by the technology at hand, Cruz now up 0-2 from Mangry, and a nice piece of hitting over there, but it will end up foul from Cruz.
That ball just kept tailing away. It looked like it was going fair, but just the spin on the baseball just managed to spin it to foul territory.
Yeah, and the lefty-lefty matchup here from Cruz facing Mangry. Has not faced him this season yet. And the 1-2 fouled off from Cruz, rather the 0-2. And it will remain 0-2 to Cruz. And Mangry is going to keep working pretty quick here. The next 0-2 to Cruz, fooled him on it. Hands were too inside, and he'll be sent down here for out number 2.
You could see that Jay Cruz was very unsure if he should have swung or could have just taken that one all the way. It was just one of those very late swings where you just caught in the middle. Check swing, should I take or should I go for it? He was just very tied up at that very moment. Unfortunately, results in a K.
And Mangry now will continue his work against Jag Burton, now stepping in with 2 down for the Saints. And the first pitch of the AB will miss inside. It'll be ball 1 to Burton. And quickly working here, this one missing as well again. Quickly 2-0 now for Burton. The strikeout victim is last time up, now quickly ahead on Mangry.
What a difference in pace. You deal with the starter in McBride, and now Mangry in a very quick pace on the bump. He's not wasting any time, and he's not messing around either. He's looking for outs and just keeping the offense ice cold.
And it's worked so far with the first two. McMurray retired via the ground out and then the strikeout victim Cruz, but now behind 3-0 to Burton. And the pitch right down the middle will find its way in for a strike. Now the hitters count 3-1 to Burton. Two down here. Magre continues to work. The 3-1 to Burton. He'll watch it go by, low and inside. And the Saints will get a runner here in the top of the third via the walk.
What a good at-bat there for Jack Burton. You go from striking out to being able to reverse it to a walk. That is a big-time adjustment there at the plate. Was put away very quick in the at-bat. And now to be able to go from a K to a walk, that is definitely a huge adjustment for him.
Big improvement for Burton indeed. Now Tanner Linsley, who started that second inning off, being the first of 4 hits in a row, and he's going to foul this one out of play. Penso looked at it, but started it off last time as looks like we had a fan make a nice catch over there.
We have our fair share of youngsters here in attendance, and don't sleep on them. It may look like it's like a little league night. A lot of kids here in attendance. We could be looking at the next future stars.
Future CCL members for sure. Tanner Linsley now the 0-1. A nice rip up to center field, and Simmons going to dive in, but it was hit the ground. And quickly running from first is Jag Burton, and great base running will get him 180 feet. And now runners at the corners for Brandon Boning.
Pair of base hits here for Tanner Linsley. Granted, it was 2 outs, and Burton was going to go no matter what. Was able to get a great jump from it, despite that baseball jump dropping right in front of Taryn Simmons. Had a great attempt on that play. Would have been very nice if he was able to knock it down. Most importantly, kept the baseball in front of him and avoided it to become a 5-1 ball game. But none other. Tanner Linsley passes the baton over to Brandon Boning.
Yes, and Boning, single his last time up, now has some runners on, and we've seen the pace of Magre slow down. Boning attacking on the first pitch. It's going to be to right field. It's going to get over Freeman's head. Linsley's going to go around to third. Burton comes in to score. Linsley's going to be held up at third, and it's going to be Brandon Boning with a 2-out RBI double.
And once again, the Saints attacking, lighting it up with 2 outs, making things happen at all parts of the inning. The 2-out part of the inning is where they really are great there, putting up great at-bats, just being able to square up on the baseball, timing the pitchers very well, and that was just a nice stroke there from Brandon Boning. And you know what? That was an opposite field. That was a shot over to right.
A big at-bat for Brandon Boning in the third, and now Jackson Taub will take his hacks against Magre, and he'll swing on for strike 1. And it's been this part of the order that has been the offense so far from the Saints. Tanner Linsley and Brandon Boning both picking up their second hits in as many at-bats. As Cobb will watch that one low and inside, and even this count up 1-1.
Just seems like there is no Achilles heel for the Saints lineup. Everybody is a challenge in this lineup. You're never really going to get an easy at-bat.
And a fly ball over to left should be an easy play for Allen, and it will end the inning. But they do get the run back they gave up in the bottom half of the inning. Saints will head into the bottom of the third, leading the Orange County Riptide 5-1. Saints able to get that 1 run back they gave up in the second inning. And John Chomko will come out for his third inning of work, starting off against Colton Freeman, Taryn Simmons, and Clayton Owen here in the bottom of the third. Right now, Saints lead 5-1 here at Great Park in Irvine, California, and have been attacking with the bats in their hands. 8 hits to the Riptide's 2. And Chomko's going to get Freeman started here with the first pitch of the third inning, fired in for strike 1.
First 3 innings have consisted of a minimum of 1 run being scored here for the Saints. The offense just continues to just light things up.
As Chomko's second pitch misses there, and the count's now evened up 1-1. And maybe it's just something about this park, Alex, that really gets the Saints excited to hit, because we said last time 13 runs in their last game here at Great Park. A big 14 spot in their first game here, as that one's fouled off by Freeman. And now quickly 5 through the first 3. They must like coming down to Irvine. Maybe it's the shorter bus ride than they're usually used to, or something along those lines.
There has to be some sort of magic here in OC Great Park. It is a very glorious ballpark. For next season, folks, you definitely have to make a trip down here. The Saints just play amazing baseball.
And right there, it'll be strike 3 from Chomko. And that'll be the first out of the bottom of the third after Chomko retires Freeman via the strikeout. Now it's Taryn Simmons out of the University of Connecticut. The lefty was hit by a pitch last time up from Chomko, and he'll get hopefully more than one painful pitch this at-bat now.
Just going back to that K to Colton Freeman, the fastball for Chomko has a lot of life today, really trying to get these hitters to chase at these fastballs high. He has been very successful at that today. These Riptide hitters just trying to protect the plate, end up going down on strikes when trying to stay alive. It comes with a price, unfortunately, when you try to go for those high cheddar.
And mixing it up well right now is Chomko. That first pitch was a bouncer in the dirt. That one fired in to Simmons, and he's evened it up now 1-1. And what an outing so far from Chomko, the reliever most of the year, obviously, after losing a handful of starters to undisclosed reasons all over the board, whether signed to a team or heading back to school due to injury. Chomko has made his way into the starting rotation now for the Saints. He's been quite good at it.
We have had some great hitters, great pitchers that the Saints have had. Very unfortunate to be able to lose these guys.
And there's a ground ball over to Cobb. He's not going to be able to come up with it. Was playing it off to the side. It bounces off of him. It'll be an E4, and Simmons will reach via the error.
That is definitely going to be an E4. That's a ball that Cobb knows that he should have 100% complete control to him. And now with that error, you just have to gotta hope that you don't make Chomko work a little extra.
And a little bit of detriment from Chomko's end, thinking you get a nice pitch to get a ground ball and olayed over there by Cobb. But best thing you can do is come back to the next man strong, and he starts off Clayton Owen there with strike 1.
Maybe not the guy that you want to allow to be able to get on with an error, especially with the heart of the lineup already here for the Riptide. This is not the part of the lineup that you want to get into any trouble.
And that one just missing there to Owen. Linsley holding it a little bit longer, hoping the home plate umpire might see that one later on. But needless to say, the count will be evened up 1-1 now. And Owen, single his last time up, extended in a pitch virtually in the same spot. Linsley again holding it a little bit longer. He wants that one called, but that's 2 in a row that have missed for Chomko on that low and inside corner, and it's now 2-1 to Clayton Owen.
Grant and Clayton Owen, he is hugging the plate right about now, trying to get him inside, almost like the Anthony Rizzo routine. Rizzo, he hugs the plate, he hovers over the strike zone. And this is a guy, another example, Clayton Owen, right on top of the plate. He has an open stance. When he strides, he's going towards the plate. And to get something inside, it's going to be very tough and also very dangerous against a guy like Clayton Owen.
And he's been on Chomko Remember, fouling off a couple of pitches his last time up against him, fouls that one off. And now evens the count up at 2-2. Chomko from the stretch. Taryn Simmons at first. And the delivery to Owen. 2-2. Curveball on the inside corner, and it'll be a strikeout looking for John Chomko. And now 2 down here in the bottom of the third.
Ooh, John Chomko must be a real estate agent. Location, location, location. Getting that low and inside part of the plate. That is a very tough spot to be able to meet. But Chomko with no problems going with the curveball, putting away Clayton Owen for another K here in this inning.
And Owen fooled by the spot as Heimovitz now steps in. And swinging first pitch, fouling first pitch. And Chomko now ahead 0-1 on Heimovitz. Simmons at first base, reached via the E4 with 1 down in the inning. Other than that, 2 strikeouts via Colton Freeman and Clayton Owen so far from Chomko. As that one skips away from Tanner Linsley, and it'll be a free 90 feet for Taryn Simmons.
Tanner Linsley did everything he can to keep that baseball in front of him, and unfortunately the baseball had enough spin to be able to bounce off of his mask, and it was still able to roll away from him to allow Taryn Simmons to go into scoring position.
After that pitch, the count's now evened up 1-1 for Gavin Heimovitz. Chomko trying to get out of this inning with no runs across. Now a runner in scoring position in Simmons. He's checking on him and delivers back to Linsley. This one low and outside rather, and now falls behind 2-1 to Heimovitz. Heimovitz reaching on the fielder's choice, ending the first inning last time. Here he is with 2 outs now. A rip into right field. It's going to be a big play for Castillo. He's running. He's watching it. It's off the wall. 1 run will come in to score. Heimovitz is at second. He's thinking about third. Throwing in from Castillo. It's not going to be in time. And it's a 2-out triple from Gavin Heimovitz.
And now it's the Riptide coming up with some 2-out heroics as well. That's a pitch that just hung and caught way too much of the zone, nearly getting out of the ballpark. I think he missed a scoop of protein in the morning for his protein shake, just wasn't able to clear the wall.
Definitely was carrying over there, and Castillo doing his best to try to track it down, unable to get to it. It's going to be an unearned run for Chomko after Simmons reaches on the error, but it's now 5-2 here in Irvine as Reed Spenrath will take his hacks from the left-handed side of the plate. The first pitch from Chomko is going to be on from Spenrath, but fouled. Now 0-1.
I'll tell you one thing. I do not think Chomko has ever had a baseball hit that hard against him here with the Saints. I can guarantee you that Chomko is not a guy that you're really going to be able to square up on him very easily.
And a good piece of hitting from Heimovitz to go the other way, as that one's fouled off by Spenrath trying to go the other way. And he falls behind 0-2 after making contact twice. And like you said, Heimovitz really put a charge into that one. Looked like it might have the chance to leave. And Castillo doing all he can. Would have had to make a great play out there. A lot of speed in right field, but unfortunately unable to track it down. Now the 0-2 to Spenrath from Chomko with the runner at third. Swung on and missed a fastball up in the zone, chased by Spenrath. But the damage is done. Orange County Riptide pick up a run on a hit and an error in the inning and chip away at their deficit. They'll head to the top of the fourth, trailing the Saints 5-2. Matthew Magre out for his second inning of work, and he'll be faced with the leadoff man, Tommy Castillo, followed by Connor Bradshaw and Drew Cowley to start off this top of the fourth inning. And Magre giving up the 1-run last inning with 2 outs after giving up the walk to Burton, and then followed by the single and the double from Linsley and Boning. And now the top of the order flips over, and it'll be the first time Magre will see the 1, 2, 3 hitters.
See how he deals with them. This really is the heart of the lineup for the Saints. Every team has their heart of the lineup, but if you ask me, the Saints tonight, the hitters 1 through 4 really have been doing some damage. But honestly, if you look at the bottom half, really, Burton to Cobb, all of them have a run scored tonight.
Everyone putting in their work so far for the Saints. After a big hack and a take there, now it's 1-1 to Castillo. Thought about going there, will hold up. No one needs to look down. He'll now be ahead of Magre, 2-1. Castillo has the big 2 RBI double with the bases loaded in the second inning, where the Saints put up a 3 spot. And after taking there, now finds himself ahead 3-1 to Magre, who's definitely slowed his pace down now. The pitch taken by Castillo, and the leadoff man will reach via the leadoff walk.
Not the way you want to start an inning if you're Magre. You want to have complete control, not allow any more base runners, try to slow down the Saints offense. Your offense just gave you another run. Slowly but surely, you've got to try to get back into this ball game. But it ultimately starts up with the pitching to be able to keep the other team quiet. And so far, Magre, not the start you want to have when you have Castillo, who is a threat to steal a bag.
And after going down on 5 pitches to Castillo, he starts Bradshaw off with ball 1 here. Lefty on lefty matchup now. And the pitch running was Castillo. Hit and run opportunity. And it's fouled off by Bradshaw. Castillo will have to go back to first base. The count's now evened up, now 1-1.
Very unfortunate for him to go back to first. Got an amazing jump. And you and I both know it. Trying to steal on a southpaw on the bump, it is very hard. Got to go on that first move, but now he's got to start over again.
And now the 1-1 to Bradshaw. He's taken all the way. And now behind on Magre, 1-2. Castillo reaching via the leadoff walk. And now Magre looking to find his first out here versus Bradshaw. Quickly ahead, 1-2 on him. He's looking over at Castillo and delivers to Bradshaw. Swinging in the dirt. Castillo's on the move, and the throw does not get there. Gets past Cervantes. Diaz backing him up, but there will be a strikeout for Bradshaw, and Castillo steals second base.
If that throw was more on the money, it would be a much closer throw. Much closer play over there at second, and that's going to be steal number 2 for Castillo.
Castillo didn't even know if he should run. Thought maybe it got away from the catcher Penso a little more there. But with the throw off the mark a little bit, he's able to get into second. And now Drew Cowley will take his hacks. And taking the first pitch for ball 1 on Magre. And Drew Cowley, 0 for 2 right now, flying out to left and popping out to third in his first 2 ABs. But now a chance with a runner on second. And the pitch from Magre. It's chopped over there. It's going to be a tough play for Magre. He makes the play. He's going to take it himself. And he will get it at first base. Says Reed Spenrath, I got this. Matthew Magre, the putout himself at first base.
A 1U for those of you scoring at home. That's not something that goes down very often in a baseball game. You're used to seeing the pitcher flipping the baseball over to their first baseman, but they made that play very interesting. I think the better play would have been to just flip it over to first as opposed to trying to beat out Cowley.
And Magre, like you said, will get the one unassisted right there with McMurray now at the plate and Castillo advancing to third on the ground ball from Cowley. 1-0 the count to McMurray after the take. That one well inside, had to get out of the way of it. McMurray quickly ahead 2-0 on Magre.
I actually want to correct myself. Tommy Castillo on that stolen base. That is stolen base number 4 on the year, and continuously tries to collect more and has been very hard to pick off on the base path.
And that one missing well up and in. Now 3-0 to McMurray. Magre falling behind again to another hitter of the Saints. Runner at third is Castillo. Reached via the walk, then stole his way to second, and then advanced from a ground ball from Drew Cowley. 3-0 pitch to McMurray, taking all the way, and it's now 3-1.
Remember, McMurray already has an RBI single, was able to hit one the other way. Just needs to put the ball in play and just try to locate it as nice as possible.
The 3-1, not located anywhere near the strike zone. Inside to McMurray, and he'll reach now with the runners at the corner for Jake Cruz now, the San Diego State Aztec, in an opportunity to get a run in the 4th straight inning now for the Saints. 1 run in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the third. Now makes our score 5-2 here at Great Park in Irvine. Magre with runners at the corner, looking at McMurray now, and the first pitch to Cruz is ripped into center left. It's going to be a tough play over there, but Allen's going to wave it off. No hits in the inning. 2 men reach via the walk for the Saints, and it'll be their first inning. They do not get a run to come across. Score remains 5-2 here in Great Park. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Bringing it back to the bottom of the 4th here in Irvine, California. The Saints lead the Orange County Riptide 5-2. Heading into the bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be Blake Penso, Efrain Cervantes, and Dwight Allen to face John Chomko for his 4th inning of work now. And just 3 hits right now for Chomko. Only 1 of his 2 runs earned so far. And he'll try to start things off on a good note against Penso, who he walked last time. And this time fires the first pitch in there for strike 1.
You mentioned just 3 hits, but boy have these hits been stinging John Chomko already, with 2 runs on the board here for the Riptide.
And Chomko was behind Penso all the time last time up for him. And now after a big hack from him there, he'll quickly be ahead 0-2 now. Chomko, 4 strikeouts so far on the day. looking to get number 5 here in the 4th inning. 0-2 to Blake Penso, the pitch. On the outside corner, breaking ball. It'll be his 5th of the day and the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning for John Chomko.
Definitely buckling Blake Penso's knees right there with that breaking ball. Just looked filthy right there. Penso was thinking fastball all the way off of the plate, but that danced. You call it whatever you guys want to call it. Salsa, merengue, line dancing, you name it. Just danced in there for a strike 3 call.
Well, right now a good rhythm for John Chomko as he gets Efrain Cervantes to swing at a pitch in the dirt for strike 1. And that's the curveball we saw Clayton Owen go down on, the same one looking. It gets Penso there, and now really has some good stuff working as he's now ahead of Cervantes, 0-2.
5 straight strikes there for John Chomko. He is just attacking, going after these Riptide hitters and making them, and just challenging them there at the plate.
And it'll be a ground ball over to Brandon Boning for Cervantes. Gets a good piece of wood on it, but it's right to him, and it's now the 2nd out of the bottom of the 4th.
You know, it's not October yet, but that baseball just took a spooky hop right there. Boney had to reach over. He was ready to take the candy hop, but that just bounced right over his head. Was able to get the glove right on top of him. Cat-like reflexes there for the shortstop, and was still able to fire a strike to first.
And it's one of those balls that Brandon Boning's talent doesn't do it justice. Makes it look so easy over there at short, but after the weird hop, it won't matter. It's out number 2, and Chomko continuing to deal as he has yet to throw a ball this inning. Starts Dwight Allen off with a first pitch strike. First 2 men retired via the strikeout and the ground out. Now Chomko looking to go 1-2-3, the 0-1 pitch. Thought about going there. They'll check down to first. It's the first ball that Chomko's thrown this inning, and it'll even it up now 1-1. Allen, a ground out victim to third his last time up. Here's the pitch from Chomko. A much better rip over there. Castillo's going to give it a run, and he's going to run out of room, and it'll be foul over the right field side.
Gets a long strike out of it, trying to put Dwight Allen away, trying to get a 3-up, 3-down here in this inning. Chomko we've even been seeing a difference in him here in this inning, but a different for the better.
And John Chomko, as you said, starting to set in maybe here in the 4th inning. Only went 4 innings last time in Santa Barbara. Things look to point that he should probably get one more at least after here. Now 1-2 to Dwight Allen. And the pitch well in front of the plate. Allen will not swing at it. And even the count up 2-2.
Spiked that one a little bit. I think he just too much firm grip on the baseball there. He just got to loosely grip the breaking ball there. Just when you grip the baseball too much on a breaking pitch like that, that's what's usually going to happen. You'll spike the baseball like that.
And a big rip now up the middle for Dwight Allen. And the inning will not go 1-2-3. A 2-out single from Dwight Allen will get us back to the top of the order here for John Chomko.
Very good at bat here for Dwight Allen. Battled back with 2 strikes and was able to get something right in the middle of the plate. Able to drive it to dead center field and at least allow the top part of the lineup to get to work. And you know what? With 2 outs, where the Riptide were able to score some runs with 2 outs.
Takes 3 to get out of an inning here, and Chomko continuing his strike attack now, starting off another first pitch strike to Davis Diaz. And gonna have to watch Dwight Allen there. Has a short lead, but has a lot of speed, and he could get ready to run at all times. Davis Diaz gonna put that one in play. Is it gonna be able to be made by Drew Colley? And it will, in foul territory. And the single with 2 outs will not matter. John Chomko will get out of the inning, getting Davis Diaz to fly out to Drew Cowley at third. No runs come across in the bottom of the 4th, and it'll remain 5-2 heading to the top of the fifth here in Irvine, California. Matthew Magre will come out for his third inning of work here for the Orange County Riptide. He'll be faced with Jag Burton, Tanner Linsley, and Brandon Boning to start the inning here in the top of the fifth. And first inning, we saw no runs come across here in the fourth for both teams. Magre's first pitch to Burton, unable to be handled by Penso. It'll be ball one. Burton reached via the walk last time in the third inning as he watches that one come by to even the count up 1-1 and got things going in that second time around the order. Linsley then getting the single and then the big double from Brandon Boning that got Burton to come around to score. And after following that one off, he's behind Magre now, 1-2.
You know, usually going through the lineup a third time through, that's when you can do some more damage.
And that one's fouled off again from Burton. Seems to be right on Magre. Just has to time him up a little bit now. Turning out to be a very nice night here in Irvine. Beautiful sunset with the mountains in the background. One of the coolest sceneries we get to see in the CCL for sure.
It's nice to see just like the mountains right over center field, right over the batter's eyes. It's a really nice sight, and just being so close by here in Great Park. And not to mention the amount of stadiums that they have to offer. A soccer stadium, a softball stadium, and a baseball stadium, and all three just as nice as the stadium here.
Definitely a cool landscape as that one is fired by Jag Burton to center, but it's going to be right to Taryn Simmons. A line out to center field for the first out of the top of the fifth.
Squared up on the pitch very nicely. Just not the best of feelings when you know you got a great piece of the baseball, but it ends up going straight to a glove, and just not something to be disappointed about if you're Jag Burton. Something to keep in mind for the next at-bat. Hey, I could square up on it, but next time, let's not hit it straight to the defense.
All you can do is tip your cap to Simmons after the good piece. Tanner Linsley taking all the way on the first pitch, and he'll now fall behind Magre. 0-1, still working quick. Now swinging is Linsley, and now quickly behind 0-2. Two singles so far for Linsley. His 1,000 day in jeopardy now against Magre. Continuing to work against the southpaw now, the 0-2. Linsley gets a piece of it. Spenrath, nice play, fires over to Magre. It's going to be an error throw. Penso was trailing the runner, and Spenrath unable to make the throw to the running Magre, and Tanner Linsley will reach via the E3.
That was a play that looked like it was going to be leading up to something very nice here for the Riptide. That throw, that's not where you want to throw the baseball when it comes down to a pitcher trying to cover the mound. You want to throw the baseball over to first as opposed to trying to throw it at the pitcher, because it's almost like a quarterback trying to throw to a wide receiver. You want to throw the baseball where the pitcher is going to be, which is at first. exactly where the throw was made there by Reese Spenrath.
And when Linsley reaching base now for his third time today. And now Brandon Boning stepping in, taking the first pitch. Now ahead 1-0. Been one of the best hitters so far today, probably the best hitter for the Saints, reaching via the single and a big double last time up now. And Magre's pace really shifting now with a runner on. Not coming up there firing as quick as we saw, and now falling behind 2-0 to Boning.
And that might be the key moving forward into the ball game. The Saints just trying to get a base runner on so they can slow down the game, something more in their favor that they have been very strong in.
And Boning gets underneath this one. It's going to be a mile in the air. It's going to be Cervantes underneath it. And he'll retire Brandon Boning Magre for the second out now in the top of the fifth.
Another hitter that they were able to put away. Linsley was still able to get on despite the 2 base hits. Boning with 2 base hits, and they finally were able to put him on the shelf after 3 plate appearances.
First time Brandon Boning has been retired now with 1 on and 2 down. It's Jackson Cobb, fires it right back off of Magre. He doesn't care, recovers, and makes the throw to Spenrath after taking it off the legs, immediately identifying where the baseball is and firing it over to Spenrath. So 1 runner will reach via the air, but no runs will come across here in the top of the fifth. We head to the bottom of the fifth with the Saints leading 5-2 here at Great Park in Irvine, California. 5-2 here in Irvine, California. The Saints lead the Orange County Riptide. John Chomko out for his 5th inning of work. And he'll be faced with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Riptide, Freeman, Simmons, and Owen in that 5th inning. Colton Freeman, a strikeout victim last time when facing John Chomko. His first pitch to him again gets him swinging at a pitch well in front of the plate. And he'll start off on Freeman 0-1.
That was a pitch that was bounced in the dirt. Bounced before even getting to the plate. Definitely had Freeman fooled all the way on that one.
And a very similar pitch. This time Freeman lays off of it and evens it up now 1-1. And John Chomko looking to go 5 innings and earn the victory with enough innings pitched then be eligible for the win at least. That one's going to be grounded near Brandon Boning. It's going to be a back pick, needs a strong throw. McMurray just off the mark and unable to make the tag. Is a throw just off from Brandon Boning, and Freeman will be on the leadoff man.
It's going to be an infield single for Colton Freeman. That was not a routine play. Boning had to go after that in his backhanded side, backhanding the baseball. Came up with a strong throw, but unfortunately wasn't able to come up with a clean throw. But regardless, still an infield hit.
Strong throw from Boning, not going to be enough. And Freeman will reach via the infield single now. Taryn Simmons stepping in. Chomko still managing to attack the strike zone. He's quickly ahead on him. 0-1. And now Chomko watching over the runner at first. Freeman, a little bit of a lead. He's going to go. He's got a good jump. And a pitch in the dirt. No shot for Linsley. And the runner will advance to second on the stolen base.
That's the perfect pitch that you want to take off on. A breaking ball in the dirt. As a catcher, your first priority is the baseball. If that gets through the wickets, you can expect Freeman to try to take an additional bag at third.
And now the count evened up 1-1. And the delivery from Chomko now evens it up. And takes ahead 1-2. On Taryn Simmons, reaching both times, yet to record a hit today, though. Simmons hit by a pitch and reaching on the E4 last time up. Runner now at second is Colton Freeman. The 1-2 from John Chomko underway here. Looking over at Freeman. Boning runs over to second. Chomko will step off. He'll reset.
There's an arm warming up for the Saints. They're going to continue to keep watching the Saints starter John Chomko on the mound in case if he runs into any more trouble.
And the 1-2 delivery from Chomko. It's a breaking ball that Simmons is way out ahead of. He'll foul it off. And we'll try things again here at 1-2. And it is the first time John Chomko has gone into 5 innings of work. Just his second start, like we said, on the season, and only going 4 against Santa Barbara. Was dominant in that outing and looking pretty good here so far, but maybe running into a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner on second base, nobody out. And the 1-2 delivery to Simmons. It's going to be low and inside, and the count will be evened up now 2-2. 5-2 right now in favor of the Saints, but the Riptide threatening with a runner on second base. 2-2 the count now. Chomko delivers, and he's got him swinging, and it'll be a strikeout for Taryn Simmons, and the first out in the bottom of the 5th.
Much needed out here. Gonna need as many as possible to get out of this one unscathed, and at least just try to keep it to a 3-run lead here for the Saints. And Chomko, despite the 2 runs, really has been controlling this one nicely.
Chomko now will take his chances against Clayton Owen. First pitch swinging for Owen. And it's a strike. Now 0-1 to start Clayton Owen. 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout already. Looking last time, now falling behind Owen to Chomko. 0-1. Next pitch from Chomko. It's a curveball, has him fooled, and now quickly ahead 0-2.
That's some nice movement there from our angle. You could see the 12-6 on that curveball. Owen was trying to swing at the curveball when it was still at the top of the 12. Then when it was trying to come into the strike zone, it was already well past the swing.
And the curveball there, Chomko goes back to it. It's 3 pitches and out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th, sending Owen down.
Just as important as the first K that he was able to get. Just back-to-back Ks here in this inning. The only blemish so far is that infield single by Colton Freeman and that stolen base. But quite frankly, Chomko feeling really comfortable with 2 outs here.
And that's now 7 strikeouts for Chomko through 4 2/3. And that's going to prompt a visit from pitching coach Josh Schmidt. Sure, he's just making sure Chomko's still feeling all right. Give some extra time to the arm in the bullpen warming up as well. And what a great find now, John Chomko into the starting rotation after losing Creighton Hansen, Saxon Andros, and Tristan Garnett, all the different reasons across the season to really get Chomko, who was a big part of that bullpen, to come out and get 2 great starts out of him so far.
And what amazing arms that the Saints were unfortunately able to lose here in this season, but to just have the talent to be able to replace these guys, that's where it comes in big. Having the big players, but then you having other players to be able to place the players that initially were lost. And John Chomko, you have to think about it. He is still trying to settle into the starting rotation. Remember, as a reliever, you don't throw as many pitches as a starter. Coming in, this would be pitch number 74.
And 74 is in the dirt, but Linsley able to keep it in front of him somewhat. Freeman not going to be able to move over, but it will be 1-0. To Gavin Heimovitz. Had the hardest hit ball we've seen all day so far, an RBI triple his last time up over the head of Tommy Castillo in right field. Chomko looking to be more careful to Heimovitz now here. The 1-0 delivery. Just missing on the outside corner, but quickly behind Heimovitz, 2-0. Runner at second is Simmons, reaching via the lead-off infield single. Then Chomko coming back. Rather, it's Freeman at second. Simmons and Owen retired via the strikeout after that. And Chomko steps off real quick, checks over at Freeman, and will reset to take on Heimovitz. 2-0 the count. And the pitch from Chomko. This one finds the zone. A fastball in for strike 1, 2-1.
Has been relying on the curveball here in this inning, but definitely has to have a lot of confidence to be able to deliver that fastball as well. The fastball was what got him some of the early strikeouts in the game.
Now 2-1. Chomko, curveball again. This time releases again late. Now behind 3-1 to Heimovitz. 2 outs in the inning. Looking to get that run home from second is Gavin Heimovitz. And looking to get through 5 innings of work is John Chomko. 7 strikeouts so far, only 1 earned run. The 3-1. It's going to be fouled off by Heimovitz. Now the count is full.
Got to go with the best put-away pitch that you can go with here. And since he's been going with the curve, I would definitely go with the best one that he could deliver here. Nothing in the heart of the plate, but maybe something more outside. Something that will be hard for Heimovitz to be able to make contact on.
And the count's going to be full. We'll see what Chomko goes with here. Runner at second. It is the curveball, and it'll ring him up looking for strike 3. Chomko gets his 8th punch out of the game through 5 innings of work now, and we've remained scoreless for the last 2 innings. And we'll head to the top of the 6th with the Saints still leading now 5-2 here in Orange County. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Sixth inning now here in Irvine, California, Great Park. Orange County Riptide versus your Arroyo Seco Saints. Saints currently lead now 5-2 here in the top of the sixth. Matthew Magre on for his fourth inning of work. He'll be faced with the top of the order, Tommy Castillo, Connor Bradshaw, and Drew Cowley. And the first pitch of the top of the sixth is fouled back for strike one to Tommy Castillo.
What a day Castillo has been having. Has gone on base 2 of the 3 plate appearances that he has had today. Can't complain when he can get on twice. And quite frankly, Castillo has been able to get on at minimum twice within the last 2 that the Saints have played.
And Castillo now, after fouling off the first pitch, showing a very good eye on the next 2, getting ahead of Magre, 2-1. A great addition from Long Beach State was Tommy Castillo. Has really fit in nicely with this Saints team so far, really integrated into the outfield, and has been a valuable guy that can get reps at either corner, outfield, or in the middle. He'll take the 3-1 here from Magre. He's swinging, and it's grounded over to Spenrath. He'll look to take it himself, tosses it over to Magre, who doesn't even use the glove, snags it out of the air with the hand, and it'll be out number 1 here in the top of the sixth.
It's way too last minute there for Reed Spenrath. You've got to get rid of that one very quickly. The second you see the starter Magre booking it to first, I felt like the feed was a little too late there. You have a speedy Tommy Castillo just flying down the line. You can't be playing too much in risk there.
And second time we've seen Spenrath have some issues with getting the ball over to Magre. This one doesn't count as an error. They'll get the out. And the first pitch to Bradshaw will miss. It'll be ball 1, 1-0 now to Bradshaw. Quickly working again is Magre now with no one on base. And comes back to even things up now, 1-1 to Bradshaw. Bradshaw able to follow that one off. And evens this count up now, 1-2. He falls behind on Magre. And that one was fouled back into the glove. And Connor Bradshaw will be retired via the strike. Apologies real quick. Our video went out for a second. It should be back up very shortly for you guys. And there it comes. Looks like we're all good here. Seeing the beautiful sunset here in Irvine, California.
And a sunset like no other. Seeing some clouds that are over the ballpark, but nothing that's going to really threaten the playing conditions for this one. But just seeing the sunset, the clouds, a mix of the red and the blue colors. It's very nice.
And Drew Cowley now stepping in to try to take on Matthew Magre. Currently sits 0 for 3 today, Drew Cowley. And taking from Magre there, now finds himself ahead 2-1 to Magre, looking to get on for the first time today is Cowley.
Not like Drew Cowley to struggle at the plate. Usually finds a way to get on.
And there it looks more like the Drew Cowley we all know and love. It's going to be a liner into left field. He'll pick up his first hit of the ball game, a single over there in left off Magre.
I'm really liking the usage of all fields here for Drew Cowley. Yesterday had an opposite field base hit that would go for a double for Drew Cowley. He's just continuously going with the pitch that's offered to him. Just the simple fundamentals. Get a pitch outside, poke it the other way, and that's exactly what Drew Cowley did.
Seen a lot of action in this game with 2 outs now. Let's see if the Saints can add to it with Jake McMurray now taking hacks against Magre. And taking all the way on the first pitch. 1-0 now with Cowley at first. Inning started off with a ground ball from Tommy Castillo. And then a strikeout by Connor Bradshaw. Drew Cowley then reaching on the single. Now 2 down. And a 1-0 count to McMurray. Magre the pitch. Big swing from McMurray, but blown past him, evening the count 1-1.
Looking for his first long ball this year. For him, it's 325 down the line.
Much easier to do it here than it would be at the home field of Jackie Robinson. A 50-foot difference nearly down the line. 374, of course, at Jackie Robinson. The pitch from Magre. Well in the dirt, it gets away from him. Cowley reading it all the way. Will advance the 90 feet. Unable to be handled by Penso. And now the runner at second.
Now you have your runner in scoring position. Saints got to look for a run to be able to get back since the last time that they gave up a run, going back to the bottom of the third.
2-1 the count to McMurray, a runner at second. This pitch delivered from Magre will not hit the zone. Full hitters count now from McMurray. 3-1 with the runner in scoring position. 2 down here in the top of the sixth. The delivery from Magre, the pitch. It's going to miss. Gets away for a second, but Cowley will stay put, and McMurray will reach via the walk.
It's another inning with a pair of base runners on here for the Saints. This time hoping to be able to keep this inning going with the 2 outs and just trying to get a 2-out rally going.
And from one Jake to the next, Jake McMurray walks for the second time today, and that brings up Jake Cruz. San Diego State Aztec. 0 for 3 today, but 2 pieces of nice contact lining out to left. And the first pitch from Magre Cruz sees is just outside, and it'll be ball 1 to Cruz.
Pitch didn't miss by a whole lot there for Magre. If I were him, I would definitely live there and try to get Cruz to swing and try to chase after it to stretch out the strike zone.
Cruz ahead now. Magre 1-0 real quick in the AB. The next pitch. Cruz thought about swinging. Pitch in a similar spot and a similar result. It'll be a ball. Now 2-0 to Cruz.
Bit of a check swing there for Cruz. Thought twice about it, but now if you're Magre, you got to try to find another part of the zone that you'll get a called strike or get Cruz to chase at.
2 on now for Cruz. Swinging at this one, fouling it straight back. 2-1 now. It's Cowley at second, McMurray at first. Cowley reaching via the single. McMurray his walk last time up. And trying to spark another 2-out rally are the Saints. Already having a 2-out rally with Brandon Boning on RBI double in the third inning with 2 outs. Now Cruz taking a big hack, pulling away from it there. And now the count's evened up 2-2.
Got to come up with a good 2-strike approach. Hasn't been very successful with 2 strikes on his count.
Magre taking his time against Cruz. Lefty on lefty matchup here. And from the stretch, the pitch, Cruz swinging right through it. Must be a hole in the bat. And it will be strike 3 to end the top of the 6th. Saints get a couple runners aboard, but ultimately none coming around to score. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Saints lead 5-2 in Orange County. John Chomko's day is done, and he went 5 innings for the Saints. His first inning of relief, it will be Eric Navarrete coming in for the Saints, and he'll be faced with Reed Spenrath, Blake Penso, and Efrain Cervantes in the 6th. The first pitch from Navarrete, missing up and away, and his first pitch of the day is ball 1 to Spenrath.
Very good day on the mound for John Chomko. Was, like we mentioned, and been mentioning, in command.
As that one's going to be ripped by Spenrath. It'll be a fair ball. Firing it in from Castillo. It's a good throw, but it's not going to be in time. It's going to be a leadoff double here for Reed Spenrath off Navarrete.
That baseball just managed to stay fair. That was tattooed by Reed Spenrath, but a way for Tommy Castillo to once again show off the arm over and right. Didn't miss him by a whole lot, and most importantly, Spenrath went in standing, and that was pretty risky there at second.
It's the 6th hit for the Riptide, the 3rd resulting in extra bases. And Navarrete, giving up the leadoff double to Spenrath, will now face Blake Penso, sitting 0 for 1 today with a walk. And he's all over that ball, but it's fouled away for strike 1. It's Navarrete in relief for Chomko. And we'll have to see how he can handle some adversity in the first inning of work for him. They're coming back now. 0-2 on Penso. Navarrete looking to work back after giving up the leadoff double. And quickly ahead 0-2 to Penso. That one fired past him. The fastball, it'll be strike 3 and the first out here in the bottom of the 6th.
And a big strikeout there for Eric Navarrete. Blake Penso just continues to have a tough time here in the CCL after graduating from Huntington Beach High School. Still trying to mold his way into UC Irvine and just trying to get into that NCAA level. I can only imagine how tough it is to be able to transform from a CIF player to NCAA.
And quickly swinging first pitch is Efrain Cervantes. It's going to go up the middle. Bradshaw is going to throw it into home to Linsley, but it will not be in time. Spenrath will come around to score after on the lead-off double. And it's another hit for Cervantes and another RBI here in the 6th inning, making this one now 5-3.
Just inching closer. Now just a 2-run ball game between these two teams. It's going to be up to the Saints pitching to continuously put a stop to Orange County Riptide. And we've had 2 innings that have been relatively quiet for both of these teams, but you can see that the Riptide are back to where they originally started.
1 run across now here. And Dwight Allen will take his hacks against Navarrete. Now stepping in with a runner at first and 1 run across in the inning. It's Cervantes at first. And the Georgia Bulldog at the plate, Dwight Allen. 1-0 the count after taking all the way first pitch inside near the chin of Allen. Navarrete has to come from the stretch very early in the inning. And the 1-0. This time just low maybe. It's quickly 2-0 to Allen.
Another pitch that was very close to the zone. Maybe at least an eyelash away from the strike zone. Navarrete gonna continuously be looking for a strike.
And a big hack there from Allen. Not going to be able to catch up to it. Navarrete working back now, 2-1. Ground ball would be tough to end the inning to turn 2. Allen carrying a lot of speed at the 9 spot there, but defense is in that double play defense. And that pitch finding the zone there on the outside corner. Now working back, evening the count 2-2 is Navarrete.
You would love to be able to put Allen away here. You go back to the top of the order after Allen and Davis Diaz, and the last thing you want to do is go into battle with runners on base to go against Freeman or even Simmons.
2-2 from Navarrete. Misses low and outside. And the count will be full now. Top of the order awaits on deck Davis Diaz. Dwight Allen now up with the count full. Currently 1 for 2 on the day. Runner at first. 5-3 ball game. Pitch from Navarrete. Mitch is outside. And now Dwight Allen is at first with the top of the order coming up.
Not what you had in mind here if you're Eric Navarrete. Now you go back to the top of the order, and it's an opportunity here for the Orange County Riptide to make this game even closer with a runner in scoring position and one gone.
And after getting into some trouble here, tying run will now be at first in the 6th inning here. 5-3 ball game. And Eric Navarrete will face Davis Diaz, the Vanderbilt Commodore. And Arizona Diamondback draft pick still out here in Orange County. Takes the first pitch from Navarrete, 0-1. Action in the bullpen for the Saints. Looks like Rashad Ruff warming up should this inning get out of hand more. Aaron Milam's plan has to be for Navarrete to finish. And Navarrete quickly working back when getting to the top of the order. Gets that one on the outside corner, ahead on Diaz now, 0-2.
Not a bad idea to go after the top part of the lineup, challenge them, and make them try to hit your pitches. If you see them start fouling off any of the pitches that you're offering with excellent location, then you're going to have to change up the game plan.
0-2 pitch from Navarrete. It's ground ball, but it's going to go foul for Diaz. And it'll remain 0-2. And Navarrete will have to reset. Dwight Allen had a great jump on that baseball. Was already at second base virtually. And now ran all the way back to first there. Has a big lead with McMurray not holding him with a runner at second ahead of him. 0-2 the count to Diaz. Big chance here for both teams. Navarrete's pitch. It's going to be fouled straight back. And he's fouled off the last 2, remaining at 0-2.
Remember, it's Dwight Allen over at first that is the game-tying run. He's the important one. The runner in scoring position is important as well, but that runner at first is the one to be able to make it into a brand-new ball game.
It's Efrain Cervantes at second, Dwight Allen at first. One down here in the bottom of the 6th with Eric Navarrete on the mound. The pitch to Diaz, and it's going to be a pickoff attempt, and then Linsley has got him. And now no one back at first. McMurray really missing that one up. Should have just ran back. Runner had nowhere to go at second. McMurray throwing over to Boning, and no one was covering first.
That's a mental error for the Saints. You said it just right, Tommy. Run the runner over to first. You tag one of them, you get an out of it. There's still going to be a runner there at second, but at least you get an out. Right now, Navarrete is in need of outs. He's still going to be working with traffic on the base path.
And now 0-2, and McMurray's going to try to make up for it. Line drive to him. He'll get one out from Diaz and almost laying a tag on Dwight Allen, who has been real crazy on the base paths now.
Been looking at a very different inning here for the Saints defense, something you don't get to see a whole lot, but we saw Tanner Linsley pulling the trigger down to first and showing off the arm with a napping Dwight Allen. Fortunately, no out of it, but a huge out recorded by McMurray.
2 down now here in the bottom of the 6th. Colton Freeman taking hacks against Eric Navarrete, watching all the way on the first pitch, ahead 1-0. It's Efrain Cervantes at second, who already drove in a run. Reed Spenrath, who led things off with a leadoff double. Then Blake Penso striking out, as that one is hit up in the air, and it will get out of play. It's foul ball, and even the count at 1-1. And then it was Cervantes driving in Spenrath for the first run of the inning. Dwight Allen then reaching via the single as well, and then just Davis Diaz lining out there is how we've gotten to this point. 2 on, 2 out for Colton Freeman, the 1-1 pitch from Navarrete. It'll hit the zone. He'll be ahead now, 1-2.
Some good movement on that breaking ball. Trying to get Colton Freeman off balance.
It's 1-2 now to Freeman. Single his last time up on the infield hit. And the pitch, it's a curveball, switches things up, and Navarrete gets out of the jam. 1 run does come across as the Riptide inch closer. It's 5-3 here in Irvine, California. The Saints lead. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. 5-3 ball game here in the top of the 7th. And there's a pitching change on the mound. It's Sean Hepler out of Xavier University. And it was a pleasure doing the play-by-play for the last 4 innings for you. I'll send it back over to Alex Naveja to finish things off here in Irvine, California.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Always a pleasure to be alongside of you on a night-in, night-out basis, as we'll have Jack Burton, Tanner Linsley, and Brandon Boning here in the top of the 7th. 5-3 ball game. The Orange County Riptide continuously just inching closer to the Saints, as there's a dribbler down the first baseline, but goes foul, 0-1.
And right now, if you're the Saints here, this is an opportunity you need to capitalize on here. Now just giving up the run in the bottom half of the 6th, now coming back in the top of the 7th, only up by 2 now. You've had the bottom of the order here that's been very productive for you. Burton, Linsley, and Boning would be huge to come back and at least get 1 run back after giving 1 up in the bottom half of the inning.
So Sean Hepler on the bump now for Orange County. Hepler, 6'2" frame, as here's a high chopper going down the first base line once again. And it's Reed Spenrath stepping on the bag himself.
And Burton delivering a chopper over to Spenrath. Unfortunately, just too easy of a play for the TCU Horned Frog at first. Watches it come right into the glove, takes it himself, and it's the first out here of the 7th.
So Tanner Linsley now due up here for the Saints. John Hepler, 6'2" frame on the mound, 206 pounds on the bump from Xavier, the junior, originally from Corona, California.
And great outing for Magre. A little bit of a hiccup in the third, giving up the run, but coming in and 3 scoreless innings after that, and have really kept the Riptide involved in the ball game. And just a 5-3 game now here in the top of the 7th.
Was also able to get 4 Ks on 3 walks, 3 hits, and 1 earned run. And so far, ever since Magre has been on the mound, he has really kept the Saints pretty quiet there in the batter's box. Currently, Tanner Linsley, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 gone, 5-3. As he is just able to hit that one, actually swing and miss. And by the looks of it, home plate umpire, they're saying that it's a foul ball. But this is going to be interesting, Tommy. We'll see how the umpires rule this one. But for safe precautions, Tanner Linsley, he booked it to first in case if he swung and missed. It sounded like he swung and missed or made some contact with the baseball.
Well, we'll have to see here. Umpires are going to discuss if he does, in fact, reach on the strikeout. It will be the 3rd time Tanner Linsley has reached base in the 3rd different way. 4th time he's on base in the 3rd different way, reaching on the error and already a hit today. And he does, in fact, reach on the strikeout.
So already a very interesting inning. Hepler is able to get his first strikeout of this relief appearance. But it's giving up a base runner. Blake Pencil behind the dish, unable to control the baseball behind the plate. So 1 gone. Here's Brandon Boning.
And let's see if the Saints can capitalize on that opportunity that they just got. Pencil unable to handle it, and Linsley reaching on the drop 3rd strike.
So they go from a southpaw back to a right-handed pitcher. Originally started with Jake McBride, who initially got 2 innings of work, struck out 1, no walks, 6 hits, and 4 earned runs. Then Matthew Madre going in as a southpaw, able to get 4 Ks out of that relief appearance. Then going back to a righty on the mound, almost getting Tanner Linsley. Yes, he does.
And maybe a little bit of eye for an eye action there. Linsley reaching on the questionable drop 3rd. Didn't have a huge lead, but stumbled trying to get back. Great pickoff move from Hepler. And he gets his strikeout back that he earned.
That's a big time out there for Hepler, erasing the base runner off of the scorebook as Boning swings and misses through the 1-1.
And a big momentum shift now in favor of the Riptide as well. Getting a runner on with 1 now and then having him picked off. Now you're down 1-2 with 2 outs in the inning. It's going to be a big crawl back for the Saints if they want to do something in the 7th.
Here comes the 1-2. That's going to become a souvenir for a very lucky fan that just so happens to be in the parking lot. So Sean Hepler on 13 games has 1 start on the mound. 23 innings of work, 29 hits allowed, 20 runs, 17 of them earned as Brandon Boning goes after it, trying to stretch the strike zone, and that will end the inning. 3 up, 3 down here for the Saints. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. 5-3, the Saints. Saints being put away very quickly in the top half of the 7th as we make our way to the bottom of the inning. Taryn Simmons, Clayton Owen, and Gavin Heimovitz now due up for the Riptide. It'll still be Eric Navarrete on the bump, who comes in with 4 2/3 innings of work, 3 base hits, 2 earned runs on 1 K with 3 walks, with an earned run average of 4.29.
And Navarrete, a latecomer here in the CCL League, has been nothing overwhelming to hitters, but pretty standard stuff you'd expect to see from a pitcher. And on his best days, has some really electrifying stuff, and on his worst days, can get ugly.
Definitely have a very rough start in the last inning to start up his relief appearance, but getting a quick jump to start up the bottom of the 7th on a pop-out.
And a big out there to Taryn Simmons as well. Hasn't been much of a factor today, but bats in the 3 spot for a reason. Really terrorized the Saints his last time we played him. Going a whopping 4 for 5 and 3 legs of the cycle, the single, the double, and the home run.
So they start Clayton Owen off with a first pitch called strike. We'll go back to Navarrete's debut on July 15th, as this one is laced over to shallow center, but tracked down nicely by Connor Bradshaw for out number 2.
Very easy play over there, and quick 2 outs for Navarrete after giving up the run in the bottom half of the 6th.
So Gavin Heimovitz now coming up to the plate as Eric Navarrete, an inning of work, no Ks, a walk, a hit, and no earned runs against the Conejo Oaks on his Saints debut. Something very different about Eric Navarrete, playing for Mid-America University, but not a part of the NCAA. That is a program part of the NAIA, as there's a ground ball sharply hit over to second. Cobb, while spinning, throws over to first to come with the outs. So a 1-2-3 inning here for the Arroyo Seco Saints as we go to the top of the 8th inning. 5-3 as you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Both teams with a pair of 1-2-3 innings. Alex Naveja alongside of me, Tommy Warch, as we go to the top of the 8th. Jackson Cobb blasting one over to right, and that's going to make its way close to the warning track, and Jackson Cobb will look for extra bases.
And another piece of clutch hitting late in the ball game for Jackson Cobb. His second double in as many nights in these late innings here, leading it off first pitch of the 8th inning. And now a runner in scoring position for the top of the order right away here in the 8th inning.
And here's a stat worth mentioning for Jackson Cobb. This is his 3rd straight game that he has gotten a pair of base hits.
Has been very nice for the Saints at the bottom of the order.
Jackson Cobb just continuously being a great hitter as Castillo is trying to drop the bunt there. I'll start off against San Luis Obispo on July 28th. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI single, was caught stealing, but also got another RBI single on that one. Followed by very next day playing against the Academy Barons last night, 2 for 4 with an RBI single, a run scored, a double, the big double that was able to tie up the game. His run, actually, I should say, for Jackson Cobb. As the 0-1 misses 1-1.
And I hope that ends the bunting notion from Castillo. Need a hit anyway to get Cobb in. Why not tack on more? You don't want to give away a free out here. Castillo very good with the bat in his hands. Why not let him swing it?
And there's an off-speed pitch catching that inner half of the plate, 1-2. And you could definitely see before that pitch, Heimovich was playing behind the plate, behind third, I should say. And if he drops a bunt, that is going to be a very tough play for a third baseman to be able to track down. But the 1-2, Castillo goes after it. Penso demonstrating I have the glove, and that's a K.
And unfortunately chasing there is Castillo, wanting to do something big with the bat in his hands. And swinging at a pitch well outside the zone is Castillo. But one down here now quickly for the Riptide, bouncing back, and it's Connor Bradshaw in to try to make some damage happen for the Saints.
Very unorthodox strikeout, and there's a line shot going over to left, and a lunging attempt there by Dwight Allen. That makes its way all the way to the left field wall. Here comes Jackson Cobb to be able to double up the score, 6-3 for your Arroyo Seco Saints.
And a huge hit from Connor Bradshaw, talking about his spray chart earlier in the ball game. This time able to ride the outside pitch all the way down the third base line. Good effort out there by Dwight Allen. Was going to need to dive to try to make the play. Figured the run would score if it set down anyway. Cobb comes around to score easily on the double from Bradshaw.
And it's back-to-back ball games for Connor Bradshaw with an RBI. Tonight he has a pair of ribbies. And continuously showing why he should be at the top of the lineup. And with putting Castillo as that one hitter, then you drop Bradshaw to that two hitter, really has been ideal. That two hitter, usually the guy that will either move that leadoff guy that gets on, which is Tommy Castillo, who his on-base percentage is above 500%. He gets on, he'll just steal second, and then he gets into scoring position. Bradshaw, a good guy to be able to clean up the bases.
Well, and how about that second leadoff man, Jackson Cobb, at the bottom of the order? Both times he's gotten on base today, he has scored, with the single his first time up and the double his last time. Has just been a great bat to have at the bottom of the order. And when you have such a strong top of the order with Castillo and Bradshaw and Cowley, if Cobb's on base, it's almost a for sure that he's coming around to score with one of those three guys and nobody out.
Can't discount Brandon Boning with the way that he's been swinging the bat. He has been almost a part of all of the action, or if not starting the action. His bat is just getting warmed up right in the perfect time. And as you were mentioning it, by the time Drew Cowley steps up to the plate, he's at the plate with an RBI opportunity just like he is right now.
Just the one hit so far today from Cowley, but has been all over Hepler right now. Looking to see if he can really open this ball game up for the Saints.
And there's a pitch that gets away from Blake Pencil behind the plate. That's a free bag for Bradshaw. So count even up, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 gone here in Orange County Gray Park. Infield playing in. It's a 6-3 ball game. Saints looking to continue the bleeding here.
And that pass ball is going to be huge now because the infield's going to play in. And you would think that if Drew Cowley is able to hit the ball to the outfield now, Connor Bradshaw would be easily able to score via the sac fly with just 1 down in the inning now.
Drew Cowley very good at driving the baseball, at least something in the outfield as there's a swing and a miss. Here comes Bradshaw in to score. What a night for the catcher. Fortunately for Blake Pencil, unable to hang on to the baseball tonight.
And that's now the 2nd runner that has reached via the drop 3rd strike. Drew Cowley right there and Tanner Linsley the inning before. And the 2 pass balls in that AB to Cowley alone gets Bradshaw all the way from 2nd to home. And still, even after the strikeout from Cowley, only 1 down for Hepler on the mound.
So they turn to the attention to Jake McMurray. Taking the first pitch, called strike. Already 2 runs scored here for the Saints. 7-3, back to a 4-run lead. After last night's win for the Saints, that guaranteed them a playoff berth for the Saints. And a very interesting thing, the Saints trying to duke it out with the San Luis Obispo Blues, who had the day off yesterday, and not exactly the best of days to be able to get the day off if you're the Blues. The Saints were able to gain leverage. They went into yesterday's ball game with a 1.5-game lead from the Blues. But with the win for the Saints yesterday, now 2-run lead.
It's going to be a very fun and competitive playoffs, I'm sure, in Lincoln, California. Saints last time in the playoffs making it all the way to the championship game against the Foresters and looking to do some damage as well. We're in first place for a majority of the summer here and now falling into 2nd place in the South with the Foresters above them, but some really great bats and phenomenal pitching this season. The Saints have definitely earned a playoff spot.
Considering how well the Saints have been playing throughout this season. Let's take a look at some of the scores around the league as the Prune Packers blowing away the San Francisco Seals, playing away from league action 12-2. The Walnut Creek Crawdads playing a close one against the host Lincoln Potters 2-1. The Barons trailing the Santa Barbara Foresters 4-2. And the big one to keep an eye out on as Jake McMurray hits a little blooper and a diving attempt there by Dwight Allen.
Dwight Allen unable to come up with that one. Looks like it hit off the tip of his glove. And a tough play out there in left field, and it's going to be McMurray's 4th time in 5 plate appearances he's reaching base. He'll be 2 for 3 on the day with his 2nd single and 2 walks on the day.
Just one of those hitting it in a no man's land. Good hitting for Jake McMurray. That's a line drive in the books for sure. 2 runners on with 1 gone. Here is Jake Cruz. And as we were mentioning before, the game we're all watching right now, San Luis Obispo Blues and the Conejo Oaks, as here's a towering fly ball into foul territory. Long strike for Jay Cruz. It is 5-3 in favor of the Blues right about now. Both of these teams win. It'll still be a 2-run lead for the Saints, but it's crucial for the Saints to come up with this win
And the Riptide looking at that game very much too. Currently in a playoff spot now, but not sure if they'll hang on. They need these victories at the end just as much as anyone else does as well too. And both teams really working for different goals. The Saints to get to that top seed, the Riptide just to make it and have a chance to play in Lincoln.
Would love to make that trip up to NorCal next week. It'll be Wednesday through Friday. We will definitely have the coverage for you guys for the Saints playoffs. Back pick attempt over to second. Keep Drew Cowley with an honest lead over at second, with Jake McMurray over at first. 7-3, Saints back to a 4-run lead here in the top of the 8th. Here comes the 2-1. Cruz swings and misses through it.
And Cruz, another big hack there on the 2-1 count. We saw it on his first strike. Really put a charge into a baseball that pretty much disappeared into foul territory. Always taking big hacks at the plate, and could look to see if he could just get something in play with 2 runners on.
Cuts through the 2-2 and goes down on strikes.
And another big hack from Cruz there. It's another strikeout for him on the night. And now 2 down with Jag Burton coming up to the plate, and 2 runners still on, and would be a big 3 spot if they can get something to come across here in the top of the inning.
And if they do get the 3 spot, it'll be just like the top of the second all over again with the 3 runners coming in to score. And here's a bouncer going over to second. The toss goes over to second to get the force out. So the Saints avoid striking out the side as the damage is done. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 7-3 in favor of your Saints as you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Still a 7-3 lead for the Saints as the Saints will turn to Rashad Ruff from Coppin State.
Ruff has been one of my favorite newcomers that have come along here for the Saints, along with Castillo. Both have had a lot of success, and Ruff carries a real nice fastball. Doesn't reach the elite levels of speed in the mid-90s or anything, but keeps it in those low 90s and really has an extra zip and tail on it that really fools hitters and makes it look even faster, especially at night.
And definitely as a starting pitcher, doesn't really have that stature they usually think. A pitcher usually thinks 6 foot and up, but Rashad Ruff has really been getting the job done here for the Saints. 4 innings of work, only 1 hit with 1 earned run. That was a solo home run to the Conejo Oaks that he gave up on 8 Ks, 1 walk, a 2.25 earned run average for Rashad Ruff. But to answer that stature question, he is 5'11" on the rubber. There's the 1-2. It's Reese Spanrath trying to battle back here.
And you can see there with the 2 pitches fouled off there from Spenrath, definitely behind on Ruff's fastball right now.
Really has been behind on the fastball. We'll see what Ruff goes with here. Goes with the fastball once again and not missing by a lot there.
Not sure where you want it there if you're home plate umpire. Rashad Ruff fires it in there, and he'll just reset, takes the call, and unfortunately, instead of the strikeout, counts even up 2-2.
2-2, cuts that and misses. Reese Spanrath goes down on strikes, and another one bites the dust.
Definitely earned that one there, Rashad Ruff. Continuing his dominance so far in his very minimal experience so far for the Saints, but has been a great find for Aaron Milam late in the season and will be heavily used, I'm sure, next week in Lincoln as well.
As the Saints will really have to depend on their relievers late in the games. Not to say anything disrespectful to the starting rotation. The Saints have a very solid starting rotation, but you and I both know it. To win a championship, it's all up to the bullpen as well to be able to maintain control of the game and hold the opposing team to however much of a lead that they have.
And that's why I give the Saints a lot of credit, and they look very good heading into next week. What's been the best part about the Saints this year? Virtually, it's been the pitching and specifically the bullpen. They've had great bullpen arms from Kyle Sonduk. There was John Chomko later on in the year who's now made the transition to the starter. But Tommy Hannon has been great out of there. Dorado's been great. Stamos is really coming around at the end of the season too. There's a lot of great arms and a very deep bullpen for the Saints that they can rely on heavily to get them far into ball games.
Very many reliable arms indeed for the Saints. And some late acquisitions of both Corey Shepard and Rashad Ruff. Ruff from Moreno Valley, California. The local boy getting an opportunity to come back from Coppin State D1 program.
And, of course, Rashad Ruff to add to that bullpen now, too. Just very good performance so far out of him in his limited appearances, but has earned his time.
As the 2-2, that's a bouncer going past the Riptide's dugout. Didn't know how that didn't stay inside. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Rashad Ruff on the mound, working with a 4-run lead, 7-3. Rashad Ruff already has a relief appearance against the Riptide as there's a bouncer, can't be handled by Boning.
And a play that we've seen Boning make all season long, but does take a little bit of a wicked hop there at shortstop. Unfortunate to not get the out there, a play that Boning will tell you he knows and wishes he would make on a regular basis, but It'll be interesting to see how they score that one with a little bit of a wicked hop to it.
As I mentioned, I think October's coming early this year. The baseball has just been spooky on Brandon Boning, and they do rule it an error on Boning.
Probably the right call there. Play that probably should be made by Boning. Like I said, he'll think to say that that's a play I'd like to make on a regular basis.
And Brandon Boning definitely telling Ruff right about now, hey, give me another one. You know I don't bobble the baseball all that much. Give me another one, and I'm for sure going to be able to turn two, as there's a fly ball going over to right. Well played there by Castillo.
And Cervantes is retired. He's been a little bit of a problem so far. Was 2 for 3 heading into that AB and an RBI in his 2 hits. But is retired with the fly ball to right, and now Ruff will have an opportunity to get out of this 8th inning with virtually no harm done if he can get the 9-hitter, Dwight Allen, out.
First pitch to Allen, goes after it, and this is a can of corn over to right. And Castillo responsible for 2 of the 3 outs. 1K, 2 flyouts here with an error and a runner left on base. 7-3 in favor of the Saints, as you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Welcome back to OC Great Park as we come to the top of the 9th inning. We'll have bottom half of the order in Linsley, Boning, and a Cobb, as we've got the southpaw Nathan Katchu.
Yeah, Katchu came in last time these guys faced and did give up a run, but was able to close the game out.
Linsley hits a high fly ball over to dead center field. Having to come after it is Taryn Simmons.
And Linsley, pretty good day he'll be happy with. It'll be 2 for 5 in the stat books. Reached on an error in his third time up, but started the day off 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And batting average will be climbing with the 2 for 5 performance today.
So Brandon Boney now stepping into the plate, facing off against Nathan Cachu. 6-foot frame, 220 pounds, out of Louisiana State University. Originally from Anaheim. Anaheim, only 10-15 minutes away, but if you want to count SoCal traffic, that's at least 20-25 minutes. The 0-1, and a pitch framed, but missing away.
If you want to walk to the bathroom, you got to account for SoCal traffic down over here. It seems like always something. Driving home from San Luis Obispo, you can catch traffic at 11 o'clock. Doesn't matter.
Well, absolutely, especially in San Luis Obispo. The fan base there is amazing. There's fans all over the place, and it's tough. You have to accommodate the traffic. So if you're trying to go right in between innings, well, you're gonna catch some traffic. It's good to at least try to catch the news, see what kind of traffic and how long you're gonna be there for. As there's a mile-high pop-up, and it's Penso that puts him away.
And that one was shot into the air for Boning. Underneath that one on the pop out to the catcher, Penso. And I was ready to make that one. It was up near the awning up here by us, but stays in the park, and it's quickly out number 2 now.
I was waiting for you to make that grab there, Tommy.
I'll be ready for it. We got a week left. I got time to make a play still.
Tell you one thing, if the netting behind here wasn't there, I think we would have at least caught one tonight. There was one foul ball that was coming to us. We had a shot.
Trying to earn our contracts out there too.
Hey, I'd love to. Hey, if the Saints have an opening, wouldn't mind taking the field. 0-2 and a busted bat.
And that swing right there, very defensive from Cobb, and a big part of the success he's had this season. The best team batting average and on-base percentage with 2 outs this season. Jackson Cobb, batting average over 400 and over 500 on base with 2 outs.
No doubt this guy has been very good at what he is. Is the 0-2. And it's another foul ball, just able to nick it back. Nathan Cachu, only 1 game, and that was the 1 game against the Saints. Only 3 innings of work, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, no strikeouts, coming in with a 3 ERA. As the 0-2 pitch goes with the breaking ball, but it'll be a high pop-up to third, and we'll put him away. So they put the Saints away in order as they go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The final 3 outs, 3 lives for the Riptide. The Saints will turn to Rashad Ruff to get the final 3 outs. Alex Naveca with you all. Alongside of me is Tommy Warts, and it has been an absolute pleasure to be a part of your Friday evening, wherever you may be. The Saints trying to get a winning streak going, and it would definitely help them out, help their momentum as well to try to finish up the season with a winning streak. Still looking for it here.
And it would be a big bounce back after that 4-game skid for the Saints. After winning yesterday in walk-off fashion versus the Barons, if they can close this one out here, just 3 outs away for their second in a row now against the Riptide.
And Ruff, he's not playing any games here in this bottom of the 9th inning. Came close to ringing up Dwight Allen there, 1 and 2.
And I guess we could be more mad, but the calls have been pretty consistent, I guess, for the home plate umpire. That one just missing, but I feel like we've seen that one called a strike before.
The 1-2. Same spot, but a little closer to the chest, 2 and 2. But to continue on with this 3-game road trip to finish up the season, the Saints will head on over to Santa Barbara, the last match. It's going to be the battles between the 1 and the 2s. And heads up, first base coach had to hit the deck to avoid that foul ball.
Yeah, hit the pose on the way down too, but showing off the athleticism, even at an old age, to get out of the way of that missile from Davis Diaz.
He might be open for a contract as well. Why not? Come and play for the CCL if he's got such cat-like reflexes as such.
Lace them back up. Show them what they got. Remember the roots.
Here comes the 2-2. That's a foul ball right over our heads. Final scores here around the league. There's a final at St. Mary's College. Walnut Creek Crawdads sealing the win against the Lincoln Potters. Bottom of the 8th inning over at Recreation Park, home of the Prune Packers, 16-3 against the San Francisco Seals. And at the top of the 9th inning at Pershing Park, it's the Santa Barbara Foresters with a 4-2 lead over the Academy Barons. And as for over at Santa Barbara, they're at the bottom of the 7th inning, and Sinheimer Park 5-3.
And you see that even there. The Academy Barons are the lowest team in the CCL South. Santa Barbara the highest team. Still a very competitive ball game. 2-4 late in that one.
And especially with what the Barons were able to do last night, as this one is skied into foul territory. We'll see if McMurray reaches over before even touching the fencing.
Big out number 1 there to start off this 9th inning. Rashad Ruff looking to come in and shut things down through 2 innings of work. Thought he was going to get the strikeout there. 2 pitches just missing there. Was able to work it back to a full count, Davis Diaz, but swinging at a close pitch and not getting a good piece of wood on it. It's going to be an easy pop out to Jake McMurray for the out in the 9th inning.
And if you want to talk about strikeouts for Rashad Ruff, boy, did he go off against the last time these two teams faced off against each other. 2 innings of work, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 5 Ks. And you know what? Fino Amador is not the only guy hitting 1,000. It's also Rashad Ruff with, here's a little bouncer going to second. 4-3 put out to put away Davis Diaz.
And Rashad Ruff has really got the number right now on the Orange County Riptide. You said last time going out really was the lone bright spot in that 10-2 loss against the Riptide in a game where the bats had no action really and the pitching wasn't at its best. Rashad Ruff able to come in there and at least have the Saints go out with their pride at the end of the night in 2 innings of work and 5 strikeouts, and looking to go through the last 2 innings here and close the ball game out in Orange County.
And indeed would be a huge win for the Saints. As we mentioned, would be a huge momentum starter for the Saints. Strike 1 to Colton Freeman. fastball gets that one by, and Freeman now down to his last strike.
And Rashad Ruff looking to put the exclamation point on his great night of relief, too. One strike away from ending this ball game at Great Park.
The 0-2 pitch. Protective swing there. Stays alive. 0-2 the count.
And Simmons there taking his hacks. Very defensive at the plate. Didn't even get a step off there, just throwing the arms out, trying to catch up to the fastball of Ruff.
We'll do it again. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And here's a little Texas leaguer. We'll see if who's going to call it off. And it's Brandon Boney who comes out to make the grab over the shoulder. And you can put a W on the board for the Arroyo Seco Saints. They have now won 2 straight here in the final week of the season. Still work to be done here in this one. They win it 7-3 here in Orange County Great Park. And overall, it was the pitching that really kept this ball game intact. And, of course, you got to give the credit to the bottom half of the lineup from hitters 6 through 9. A total of 5 runs came in to score. That's where majority of the production was made. And you know what, if you ask me, that is a great sign for the Saints. It's great to see the top to the middle part of the lineup get the job done offensively, but when you see the bottom half of your lineup getting the job done and scoring runs, that is a great sign if you're Coach Milam.
Well, we know what Connor Bradshaw can do. We know what Jake McMurray can do, and we obviously have seen Drew Cowley do his magic all summer long. But when that bottom part of the order, that 7 through 9 spot, really comes in big, and it really has the last few weeks for the Saints as well, too. It's shown that if that part of the order can get on base and can get their action done, they have a really great chance of winning. And just to highlight another player, John Chomko, his 5 innings of work with 8 strikeouts now through his last 9 innings, 17 strikeouts for John Chomko, has been lights out since moving to the starting position.
Not to mention he had 2 innings where he retired to the side here tonight and just continuously showing off why he should be in this starting rotation. And you know what, just mentally, that has really got to take a mental toll on John Chomko. You are used as a reliever in the majority of the year, then you come in as a starter and just showing no problems. You're saying yes coach, yes coach, yes coach, coming in a pressurized situation to come into the starting rotation, and he is just as good in the starting rotation.
The versatility at the pitching position is very underappreciated sometimes, and John Chomko was one of the great arms out of the bullpen this summer so far for Aaron Milam's team. He challenged him and came up to him and asked him if he was going to be comfortable starting games. He said, yes, coach, I've done it in college already. If you need me this summer, I can do it. And so far, the move looks really good 2 starts into it.
I don't really think we can really choose a player of the game. John Chomko, of course, would be a likely candidate, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as the bottom half of the lineup, the combination of Burton, Linsley, Boning, and Jackson Cobb. These guys, each of them scored a run, especially Jackson Cobb. 2 runs coming in to score, getting it done offensively with the stick, with a pair of base hits as well, and they are just continuously playing some great baseball. So, without further ado, Tommy, do you have any last thoughts before we close this down?
All I got to say is getting the losing out of the way maybe in the beginning of the week is the best thing for the Saints right now. The 4-game skid, you want to get hot right before the playoffs. This is the time to do it. 2 games left in the season. Got to go to Santa Barbara and then finish it off in Conejo and Thousand Oaks. It's a big 2 games. They want to make a big push for that 1 seed in the playoffs right now, and the Saints might be getting hot again.
So we're running out of time here. That's all the time we have left here in Orange County Great Park, as the Saints tomorrow will be going over to Santa Barbara. We'll definitely have the coverage for you guys here on the Arroyo Seco Saints radio network. We'll be out there tomorrow. That is a 6 o'clock first pitch time. Thank you so much for tuning into this one. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the thumbs up as well so you guys can stay up to date with the remainder of the season. And, of course, the postseason. We'll definitely have coverage for that for you guys as well. well. I am Alex Nebeca, and alongside of me was Tommy Warts. Thank you so much for tuning into this one. Have a great rest of your night and a great weekend, folks. Hope to see you guys tomorrow at Santa Barbara.
Thank you, Alex. Good night, Mom.